everybody. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Eilis. I'm one of the yoga instructors with Prison Yoga Chicago. We're going to do a 45-minute flow tonight. If you have access to a block, a brick, maybe a pillow, a book, a coffee cup, pint glass, anything like that for a little bit of lift throughout the class, that's something I would recommend having. Please do not do anything that hurts. You know your body better than anybody, so if something feels like any kind of sharp pain or it's really uncomfortable, I ask that you listen to yourself and kind of take some steps back away from that posture, that pose. We are going to get started in a child's pose when you're ready, and I also just wanted to thank everybody for coming to this specific class benefiting PYC and our other partner organizations. So if you want to come to a child's position, can everyone hear me? Can I get a thumbs up? Is this an okay volume? We're good? Okay. Bring your toes to touch, hip about mat width distance. Slowly set your seat back on your ankles. Walk your hands out in front of you on your mat, forehead to the earth. We're just going to take a few moments here to settle into stillness. And to focus on our breath. Maybe wiggling your seat from side to side slightly, just to settle in a little bit deeper. Hands pressing into the earth. Maybe roll your forehead from side to side, giving yourself a light massage across the top of your head. And just note how you're breathing here. If your breath is shallow, if it's deep, if you're forcing it in any way, where's the breath going? Following it through as you inhale, your chest rises, your tummy falls. Just notice where it is. Maybe bring some more intention to your breath. Inhale, gently tent your fingers. Walk your hands to the right-hand corner of your mat. It might be slightly off of your mat in order to get a stretch along your left side body. Gently lower your forehead back to the earth. Feeling the stretch along your left ribs. In your next inhale, walk back to center. And exhale over to the left, walking your hands to the left side of your mat to stretch your right side body. Gently lower your forehead to the earth. Inhale, walk back to center. Gently come and press up into all fours so you're in a tabletop position. Knees under your hips, wrists under your shoulders. Gently press into the mat, bringing a curve into your spine. Chest rises to look towards the sky. Cow pose. And as you exhale, pressing into the earth, rounding your back like an angry cat. Try to match your breath with your movement here. So as you inhale, chest to sky, exhale, rounding your back like a cat. Take 3 rounds at your own pace, maybe adding some different movements here. Perhaps wagging your tail, looking over your shoulder at your hips. Maybe flipping your wrists so you can get a nice stretch across your back, the back of your hand. Finding movement that feels good. After you've completed your last round of cow-cat, we're going to inhale, lift your right leg up, and exhale, bring it to the earth so your toe is tented behind you. You can stay here, or bring your left arm up as well. We're going to come into a balancing table position. So you can at any point can stay here. You can come back to table and just lift your leg or just lift your arm. If you're wanting more of a balancing challenge, you can inhale now, lift that back leg up, extend out in front of you, focusing on length here rather than height. Also checking in to make sure that you're not overextending in your elbows or in your knees. Take one more breath in. Exhale, return left hand, right knee to the earth. Inhale, extend left foot back, toes on the ground, getting a slight stretch in that arch of your foot. You can stay here or lift that left leg up, right arm up. Focusing on that length. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Bring back to the ground. Wiggle from side to side one more time. Meeting in that tabletop, curling your toes underneath you, coming into our first downward facing dog position of the day. Press your knees up and your hips towards the sky like somebody has you're wearing a belt and somebody's pulling that belt up towards the sky behind you. Hips up, ankles towards the earth, arms extended, shoulders down, abs engaged. You're in an upside down V shape here. I haven't done any yoga yet today, so I'm pretty tight. Feel free to maybe like walk your feet out, pedal them so you can get some stretch in your hamstrings. Have a generous bend in your knee at this time is totally fine. We are just getting warmed up. You're gonna walk your hands to meet your feet at the back of your mat. Gently inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Generous bend in your knees. Hands can be at your shins. They can be on the earth. They can be at opposite elbows. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold one more time. Inhale, root to rise, standing all the way up. Hands come up above your head. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, hands up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. You're gonna walk out into a high plank position. Anytime you can always just meet in tabletop pose. But if you are in, move my block out of the way quick. Coming into that plank position, gently lower your knees to the mat. Lower your torso to the earth. Hands are at your rib cage. Inhale, lift the chest, cobra pose. Hands should be touching the earth, but if you can't lift them at all, then you might be putting too much pressure on your low back. Exhale, head to the earth. Inhale, one more time, cobra pose. Exhale, hands to the earth. Curl those toes behind you, gently press up either through tabletop or directly into that downward facing dog. Catch your breath here for a moment. Inhale, walk your hands or your feet to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, hands up overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold. Walk, hop, or step to meet in that high plank or tabletop position. Drop those knees to the earth. Gently lower your torso to the earth. Inhale, halfway, or inhale, cobra pose. Exhale, press up into that downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky, 3-leg down dog. Inhale, bring it through to the top of your mat. Place it gently between your hands. Lower your left knee to the earth. If you have any kind of knee pain or knee problems, this is a good time to maybe roll your mat over to give yourself a little bit of extra cushioning. Inhale, reach arms up overhead, low lunge. Exhale, hands to the earth. Tent your back foot, lift it to meet your right foot at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands up to the sky. Exhale, hands heart center. Inhale, reach arms up to overhead. Exhale, forward fold, walk, hop, or step. You can take a flow here. If you'd like to do a chaturanga and that is in your practice, I will guide you through that right now. We'll meet in downward facing dog again. Coming to a high plank position, you will gently tilt your torso forward, across towards the top of your mat. You're going to bring a generous bend in your elbows so that your arms are parallel to the floor. Inhale, press up into downward facing dog or that cobra pose here, whatever back bend of choice. So feel free to use that anytime throughout the class. Inhale, lift left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through the top of your mat. Gently lower right knee to the earth. Inhale, lift. Low lunge. Check in with your body here. Check your alignment. Are your hips facing in the same general direction? You don't want to be like skewed in a certain direction, like two headlights shining straight in front of you. Hands come to the earth. Pop those toes. Bring the right foot up to meet the left. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, bring arms up overhead. Hands to heart center. Exhale here. Inhale, arms up overhead, gently using your right hand. Make a circle around your left wrist. Plant your feet into the ground. I'll come this way so you can see a little bit better. Plant your feet into the ground. We're going to do a side stretch. So as you press into the earth with your feet, lift up through your ribs and over to the right. Take a breath in. And exhale, come to center, switching out your wrists. Inhale, lift. Up and over. Come back to center. Swan dive to the ground. Take your flow, hop, step, or jump back. Take your chaturanga and downward facing dog. Inhale, lift right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through to the top of your mat. If you have those blocks or a cup or anything like that, this is a good time to use it for some, we're going to stretch into our quads and into our thighs here. So inhale, reach up, halfway, low lunge. Exhale, walk yourself back, just extend that right leg out in front of you, feeling a stretch along your IT band, along your hamstrings here. I like to use blocks to get a little bit more lift in this pose, so not crunching into my body. I think yoga is a lot more about creating space within our body than like crunching into it. So anywhere you can lengthen or create space is a good thing for me. One more inhale here. Exhale, walk it forward. Inhale, lift. And exhale, walk back, halfway split. Inhale, forward. Exhale, halfway split. Move those bricks to the side. Inhale, come back to the top. Curl your left toes, bring it to meet your right foot at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Exhale, Utkatasana chair pose. Bring your booty back like you're sitting in a chair. You can have a generous bend in your knee here. Creating space along your low back. Arms extend up overhead. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Take your flow. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, reach left foot up to the sky. Exhale through the top of your mat, low lunge. You've been here before. Grab your bricks if you liked from last time. Inhale, arms up overhead. And exhale, gently walk back, halfway split. Inhale, forward, reach up. Exhale, halfway split. One more round. Inhale, low lunge. And exhale, last half split. Inhale, come back to that low lunge. Tent that right foot, bring it up to meet the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Root to rise. Hands come to heart center as you exhale. Take a moment. Bring your thumbs to your chest. So you can feel the pulsations of your blood pumping through you. I am like incredibly sweaty right now, so I don't know how y'all are doing. Hopefully well. Take a chance to settle into our breathing. One more inhale. And exhale. Inhale, hands, arms up to the sky. Exhale over to your right side bend. Come back to center. Switch, bend over to the left. Center. Exhale, forward fold. Walk, hop, or step and take your flow. Meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through the top of your mat. We're gonna come into crescent warrior, high lunge here. Inhale, arms come up overhead. It's the same as we were doing on the floor, only this time our back leg is lifted. If at any time this feels a little overwhelming, feel free to drop your knee. Inhale here. Chest forward, hips square to the top of your mat. Bend in your front knee. Exhale, hands to the ground. You can bring that foot right back to meet in the high plank. Hold here for 3, 2, 1. Push back, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bringing it through the top of your mat. High lunge on your left side. Inhale, arms come up overhead. Hold here. 3, 2, 1. Exhale, bring those hands to the mat. That foot comes back to meet your right. We're in high plank again. We're gonna hold here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently lower your knees, bring the mat width distance. Take a child's pose. Sit those hips back on those heels, forehead to the earth. One more breath and we'll meet in tabletop when you're ready. You have your bricks or any kind of lifting item, I would grab that at this time. We're gonna do a little bit more side bending. So coming to a high kneeling position, you're gonna extend your your left leg out alongside of you. If you have a brick, this would be a good place to grab one and bring it right next to you. We're gonna come into a slight vinyasa flow of side gate and stargazer to open up our side bodies for some of our peak pose that we're gonna get to in a little bit. So extending that leg out alongside you. Inhale, bring your arms to a T. Take an inhale, and exhale, tilt over so your left hand is right resting on your thigh or your shin. Right arm comes up overhead. You can bring as much of a back bend into this as feels comfortable for you. By gently bringing your shoulder further towards the reverse side of your mat. So inhale here. Exhale, bringing your right arm to the earth or to your mat. Inhale, lift left arm up overhead, creating one long line of energy. Side gate. Inhale, windmill back up, looking over. Right arms overhead. Exhale, side gate. Inhale, lift up. Last one, exhale, side gate. Gently come back up to that T, bring those knees together. Move your brick to the left side, extend your right leg out, hands come up to a T. Inhale, tilt that left arm up overhead. Right arm comes along, again, thigh or shin. Inhale. Exhale, hand comes to the earth or the block. This right arm extends up overhead, creating one long line of energy. Matching your breath to your movement, inhaling it as you rise, and exhaling as you fall. Exhale, side gate. We have one more round on this side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Tilt back up to that T, remove your block. Bring both knees to the earth. Press into that downward facing dog, hips up, abs engaged, soft bend in the knees, shoulders back. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through the top of your mat. Inhale, lift. High lunge, you've been here before. Exhale, open up into a warrior two. Bringing that left foot down behind you so that your feet are perpendicular to one another. Arms extend long, gaze over your right middle finger. Generous bend in your front knee. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Extend that right arm up overhead. Exhale, meet back in warrior two. Inhale. On your next exhale, windmill hands to the mat. Foot can come back to plank and you can take a flow at this time. Meeting in your downward facing dog when you're ready. Inhale, lift left foot up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through the top of your mat. Arms come up. High lunge. Inhale. As you exhale, bringing that right ankle to the earth, opening up into a warrior two, gazing gently across your left middle finger. Inhale, reverse your warrior, bringing that left arm up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. One more breath in. Exhale, windmill hands to the ground. Take your flow, meet in downward facing dog. Inhale, lift your lift your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift. High lunge. Ready to come into a balancing pose here. So you can stay here at any time as you transition into a warrior three. Hands can come to heart center. They can come alongside you. They can reach out straight in front of you. What I need you to do is to plant firmly through. Let me move my brick. Plant firmly through your right foot that's on the earth. Inhale, tilt your chest forward. As you are tilting your torso, gently press off with your back foot, lifting that left leg up to the sky. You're creating a T with your upper body, with your back leg and your upper body. Hold here. We'll try and hold for 5 breaths, and if at any point you find yourself falling out of it, that's totally okay. Come back in or take a break. Take one more breath in, and can you gently lower that leg back to the earth. Inhale, arms up, overhead. Exhale, windmill hands to the ground. You can take a flow. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through to the top of your mat. Inhale, lift, warrior, crescent lunge. Coming into warrior three on this side. Hands heart center and front, straight in front of you or along your sides. Tilt the torso towards the earth, creating a diagonal from the tip of your head to the back of your toes. Gently press through the left foot that's rooted to the ground, lifting up off of your right leg. Right leg extends out behind you. You're stamping the back wall with your foot. Can you hold for 3 more breaths? 2, 1, slow with control. Bring that right foot down to the earth. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, windmill, hands to the ground. Walk, hop, or step your feet back. Take a flow or meet in your downward facing dog. Gently lower your knees to the earth. Take a child's pose, rest here. Knees wide, toes to touch, forehead to the earth. Make it an active child's pose so that your fingers are spread wide in front of you or actively pressing into the earth with your palms. Inhale, meet in tabletop. We're going to do a few more back bends before we get into our final major posture of the day. So we started off in tabletop earlier today, doing some balancing tables. So we're going to do that again, only we're going to try and add a little bit more of a twist. So inhale, lift your right leg up out behind you. Left arm can go straight ahead. You can stay here or bend that right foot. Gently swing that left arm around behind you so that it clasps your ankle. Gently kick into that hand and press up, opening up your hip flexors, feeling a stretch along your quads. Gently let go, bring both hand and knee to the earth. We go from side to side. Inhale, extend, left leg back, right arm forward. You can stay here or bend that left knee, swimming that right arm behind to gently clasp the ankle or the outside or the inside of the foot. Press into that hand, lift up. Gently release. Bring both hand and knee to the floor. Windmill from side to side. Curl those toes. Pop up into that downward facing dog. Walk your hands to meet your feet at the back of your mat. Grabbing each opposite elbow with opposite hands. Sway from side to side, ragdoll. We're going to let gravity do the work here. So give yourself a generous bend in your knee. And allow your head to hang, your neck to hang, your shoulders to hang. Maybe play with swaying from side to side and see how that impacts the stretches or the way your muscles feel along the back side of your body. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach arms up overhead. Hands at heart center. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Walk out into that high plank position. We're going to hold here for 10 breaths or 10 seconds. At any time, feel free to drop your knees to the ground. Firing up our core. Hold for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, push back those hips up into the sky. One more downward facing dog. Pedal your legs. Walk your feet up to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Walk, hop, or step take a flow. We're going to be in like almost the last 2 or 3 flows of the class. So if you want to take them, now's your chance. You can again tilt forward, lowering to the earth, press up, take your back bend, up dog or down into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift right leg up to the sky. Exhale, bring it through to the top of your mat. Inhale, high lunge. You've been here a bunch of times. And what we're going to do is just gently bring that left foot up to meet the right. Coming into our final peak pose of the class, or our dancer's pose. So I'll come here so you can see me a little bit better. You're going to bring your left hand to your hip like you're serving a platter. You're going to bend your left knee. Plant firmly through your right leg. Bringing your inside of your left foot to meet the platter that you're serving. You can stay, sorry, I'm trying to rotate so you can see. Stay here, balancing on one leg, just with a gentle clasp on your foot, or extend your right arm out. Tilt forward like we did earlier in our warrior 3 position, and kick your foot back into your hand, extend it into dancer's pose. We did this on the floor earlier with our table. And gently come back to rise. Shake it off. Time to do the other side. Right arm comes out like a platter. Right knee bends, rooting through the left foot into the earth. Bringing your right ankle, or the inside of your right foot to meet the inside of your right hand. Again, you can stay here balancing. Tilt your chest forward. Arm extends out in front of you. Kicking into that extended hand. Dancer's pose. For 3, 2, 1, and exhale. Shake it out. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Hop, step, or walk your feet back. We're going to take our final flow of class here. If you want to be like your chaturanga one more time, come into that high plank. Tilt your chest forward on the tippy toes of your feet. Bring a generous bend in your arms, lower to the earth, pressing through the mat, toes on the ground. Chest rises. Exhale, forward fold. Exhale, downward facing dog. Walk your hands back to meet your feet at the back of your mat, coming into Malasana or Yogi squat here. You can use a block if you have it, or a pillow, to give yourself a little bit more of a lift. But that's not necessary if you do not want it. You can just come into a squat, using your elbows to gently press your arms, your knees open from side to side. Plant your right arm to the ground, lift your left up overhead. Exhale, bring that hand to the ground. Inhale, bring your right arm up. Exhale, bring it to meet the mat. Gently place your hands behind you and take a seated position here. Move your blocks to the side. We'll come into a boat pose. So inhale, you can stay here. You can lift your feet up above the ground. You can extend them long into a V shape here. We're going to do some boat crunches. So find whatever feels good for you. Arms can be extended in front of you. They can be resting underneath you for a little bit more support. We're going to hold for 5. And if you want a little bit more of a stretch, or if you want a little bit more of a challenge, you can gently lower towards the earth as we count. So we'll go for 5, 4. Inhale as you lift. Exhale, 3, 2, and 1. Gently lower your whole body into the mat. Give yourself a long body stretch, morning stretch. Hands come wide overhead, long overhead, toes stretch out in front of you. Inhale, bring your right knee into your chest. Give it a big squeeze. Exhale, gently cross it across your body, supine twist. Right arm extends long. You can keep your left hand on your shin, on your knee, on your thigh. Just taking a moment to settle into our cool down, letting our body temperature kind of start to recede. Gently inhale, roll back to your back. Bring that knee towards your chest. Give it one more hug in. Exhale, extend it out long in front of you. Take a moment to just check in. Does your left leg feel shorter than your right? Do they feel a little funky? It's always interesting to me personally to stretch one side and not the other. So it's kind of fun to sit in that for a moment. Inhale, bring your left knee to your chest. Give it a squeeze in. Exhale, cross it over your body. Extend your left arm long. You can gaze softly across that left middle finger. Right hand to right shin. Sorry, right hand to left shin. Inhale back to center. Give that knee a squeeze in one more time. Exhale, bring it long to meet your left. Bend your knees so that your feet come flat onto the ground. Walk your ankles and feet so that they are each on opposite sides of the mat. Gently lower both knees towards the right side of the mat. So you're in a wide supine twist. So both knees are facing towards the right direction. Gravity is doing the work here, pulling them towards the earth to give you a little bit of a stretch. Inhale, bring those knees back up to center. Exhale, gently lower them to the left. Inhale, bring them back up to center. If you have blocks or pillows, we're going to come into a restorative supine cobbler's pose. You don't need you do not need bricks or blocks or pillows for this, but if you have them, now's a good time to grab them. Bring your knees pointed up to the sky so your feet are flat in the earth. Bring your ankles so they kiss so your lower half makes a diamond shape. Open your legs like a book. If you have props to gently place under your knees, this is a good time to do so. You can also just bring them straight to the earth, creating that diamond shape with your lower body. Bring one hand to your heart, one to your belly. Check and see where you're feeling vibration, where you can feel your heartbeat. Can you feel your heartbeat in your belly as well? Can you feel the rise and fall of your chest? At the beginning of class, we tuned in to see how our breath was, if it was fast, if it was slow, if we were forcing it. So I invite you to come back to that now, bringing attention to how you're breathing. As you prepare for final resting pose, Shavasana, you're more than welcome to stay like this for your final resting pose. If you'd like to come into full Shavasana corpse pose, you can gently remove those pillows or bricks from underneath your knees. Bring your feet out long, arms along your side. Shimmy your shoulders away from underneath you. check and see where you're holding tension in your body. Unclench your jaw. Maybe remove your tongue from the top of your mouth. Let your fingers fold open. And let your body be still. I think there's a pretty big misconception when it comes to yoga and meditation that when you're closing your practice, you need to completely empty your mind and free your mind and have no thoughts at all whatsoever. And I think that that's kind of impossible as a human. So I challenge you that as you sit here and breathe, that as any thoughts come through your mind, that you let them pass, you notice them, acknowledge that they're there, with judgment suspended, and let them float by. Kind of like a wave crashing into the sand and then rolling back out again. Noticing with judgment suspended. And slowly, gently bringing some attention back into your body, maybe wiggling your fingers or toes, rocking your head from side to side. You can extend one of your arms out alongside you, using your bicep as a pillow, roll over into a fetal position. And at any point, whenever you feel ready, you can gently press up into meet in a seated posture. You can keep your eyes closed. You can gently blink them open. Before we seal with a community breath, I just wanted to read a quick quote that I think is kind of relevant with everything happening in our world. This is a quote from Nikita Gill. "I hope you are blessed with a heart like a wildflower, strong enough to rise again after being trampled upon, tough enough to weather the worst of the summer storms, and able to grow and flourish even in the most broken places." We take an inhale together. Exhale it all out. And one big communal breath in. And exhale out. Thank you all so much for rolling out your mat and coming to practice with me today and engaging in a Zoom yoga class. They're always kind of a little funky, so I appreciate your patience and for sticking with me through it all. I thank you all so much, and namaste, and I'm going to turn off